It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, 10th of September 2019, 8 a.m. CET, 7 a.m. London. Piotr here, meaning that it's a pre-London open live market coverage only here on the Liteforex global YouTube channel. First, I would like to apologize for yesterday UK GDP announcement. I've had some technical problems, so I couldn't do the stream. Again, I'm sorry, apologize. Hopefully today, especially later today, because we are going to cover UK job market. There are not going to be any difficulties like yesterday, so fingers crossed. Guys, let's start with the quick risk warning. Please bear in mind, trading effects on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain and lose some or initial investment, so please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. All right. As you're probably aware, for those who subscribe to our channel, have to deal with some personal things, so I'm away for a week. Start yesterday, but the full schedule of my streams are available towards the end of the month on the YouTube channel, Liteforex Global YouTube channel. So yeah. Anyway, it's going to be, or it might be, big week from the Euro perspective. That's where we are going to start. But before charts, let's have a look what we have from the calendar perspective. During the Asian hours, there was an inflation data out of China. CPI higher than what market was expecting, 2.8. Expectations were 2.6. PPI minus 0.8. Expectations minus 0.9. To be honest with you, besides the UK data, there is nothing extraordinary going on over the course of the day. It means that we should actively monitor President Trump Twitter account in case of some tweets. It's also good to check what is going on from the options market perspective. Euro dollar 111, 2 billion, dollar yen 107, 700 million. The good thing is that finally we have some money on the cable options market. 123, 2 billion, 125, 1 billion. That looks good. That looks good, especially taking into the consideration yesterday fireworks on the cable. We are going also to connect at some point within the next few minutes. We are also going to connect with Michał, so he is going to provide some information in relation to the US and China. Probably he's going to have something more. But this is the very big week from the Euro traders perspective, right? So let's start with Euro dollar here. Why is big week? That's, yeah, of course, 12th of September. Put that day into your calendar if you haven't that date there yet. 12th of September, ECB day. It's a big day, and you know, in the background there are going to be USDJPY. So 2:30. That might be nice firework, but I think everything is gonna be. I think everything is going to be done around 1:45 CT, 12:45 London, when we are going to get the announcement. The press conference, it's gonna be like statement. I think statement is what market is going to look at. And the expectations are very high, right? So if ECB will deliver, then probably from the euro dollar perspective, we are going to hit 108, the bottom of this weekly possible demand zone we are testing right now and trying run away from here. And even we are going to probably close that gap, post-French election gap, if ECB deliver. Well, there is also possibility that European Central Bank will not deliver, and in that case, I wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of 12.15, 12.25, 12.50. So the levels already proved that they are very, very tough from the bulls perspective and well defended from the bears perspective. You know, I think that this upcoming European Central Bank meeting is gonna be huge from the traders' perspective, because either ECB will deliver or will not deliver. I think it's we can put that way this time. What is going on with European Central Bank, because the expectations are so high. Hi Kainat, good morning. You know, Kainat, we are doing the at least for now we are doing the from the learning perspective, right? But there are going to be, as I mentioned before, there are going to be some changes late September and beginning of the October. We are preparing the separate program, right? So the comments, like we do right now with the preparation to the market, is going to be one thing, but if we can handle all technical stuff, we should be ready towards end of the September, beginning of the October with something new, something additional, and then because it's going to be strictly related to the trading, then we are going to follow your advice as well. But please be patient. You know, I'm leaving right now for a week. Start tomorrow. Then we will have few more days towards end of the September, beginning of the October. Hopefully we will be able to set up what we are working on right now. So no worries, there are going to be new cool stuff. But yeah, a little bit more time is needed. All right, so euro dollar here. From the higher time frame perspective, again trying to summarize, if European Central Bank will deliver, probably 108 and closing the post-French election gap. If ECB, if market, because that's the important thing, if market will decide that no, ECB didn't deliver, then I think that the first target is somewhere around between 12.15, 12.50. That's how I see from the higher time frame perspective. From the lower time frame perspective, let's switch to the daily chart on euro. Nothing new, right? Still inside the channel. Yesterday again trying to test 1070, again a little bit of the rejection. So for today I think some kind of the demand lower towards the weekly open, and then 110 plus this swing low, and to the upside once we are going and above 1070 1080 with the daily close, we might see 1115 1130 as a test of the top of the channel. So that's the thing here with euro dollar. Switching even lower, I'm going to monitor closely the developments around the London Open. If you are a bear, then again same levels as we discussed since last Friday. Some possible kind of manipulation around 1070, right? We are still talking about this previous demand, which is supposed to work as a supply right now, and that's how it looks for now. So maybe some kind of the stop count towards yesterday high and rejection. That could be the potential setup in case of longs. Again, I think the similar approach, stop count to the downside towards 110 with rejection, and that could be the case for euro dollar. Very narrow range, and to be honest with you, it might stay something like this till Thursday, right? So that's very, very possible that the range will narrow ahead of the event to expand strongly right after. So Thursday is a big day here on euro dollar. Very narrow range is expected, at least that's how I see the things right now, right? So be careful out there. All right, let's before we will switch to the dollar yen, let's try to connect with Michał. Let's check what he has for us, so please bear with me. We will be back together within the next few seconds. And good morning, Mr. Michał. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good, not the best, because the weather is as the topic we have today, which means British. So not the best day.
So maybe it's a good time to try to make some changes. You have to change the climate maybe, so you have to move around.
Yeah, but for now, just cup of tea, British tea.
Okay, what do you got for us?
You said about the JPY, so maybe we will start briefly from Japan, because we have the latest readings about the GDP from the second quarter, and it did slow down. And but on the other hand, we have information from the US. From the US-Japan trade deal, a possibility of the trade deal that, and they're strongly saying that it will come to the consensus, and the deal might be done in the couple of weeks at the United Nations briefing. It will help the Japan's economy to in this conflict with between the US and China. But about the about the stuff that it's considered in this deal. It will be also some of the agricultural products, yeah, from US. The tariffs about the cars will stay the same. The industrial products and the technology. So yeah, the US are looking for diversify the tech chain and supply chain, and yeah, looking for new opportunities. And of course, the Japan will be also the receiver benefiter of this. Yeah, of this situation. So maybe you will go for the chart because
Exactly.
the Japan is.
We are going through the dollar JPY, and I think that it's very visible that market is trying to make the break to the upside out of this range. We discussed it for a quite few times. So that's what we've seen. Thursday attempt to break, Friday retest, and continuation yesterday. Looks like I've been wrong for now, because I've been talking about the pullback ahead of the buying, right? It's always better to wait for some kind of the pullback, but looks like right now market didn't want to pull back towards my demand zone, and that's the zone we were talking about, something closer to the 50% of that range, right? So I still do expect that maybe, just maybe, we are going to see this type of the price action towards 106.40, or maybe even towards 106. And that would be the best case scenario for the bulls. Retest 50% of that range and continue higher, because right now, if we are going to look closely, so you know, we are discussing that from higher time frame perspective, some kind of the confirmation usually is a 2 consecutive daily close above, below, and that might work as a some kind of the confirmation. So in that case, we have 2 consecutive daily close right now, even 3 above top of that previous range. So in case market wants to go higher, that's what we do. We usually use the easiest tools, right? So in that case, as you can see here, the levels above 108, that might be the real target here. So for now, bulls are fighting with yesterday high. There was some move to the upside during the Asian hours. Let's switch lower. There was some upside move during the Asian hours. Market is trying to pull back right now. So based only on the price action from today, we do have nice possible demand right here, right now, just around yesterday high. And in case you know, market want to see higher levels, I would say that this 107. 107 level, the round number, should hold, and that could provide some stage for bulls to push prices higher. Now, one thing here, why we see the dollar yen higher, is what you've mentioned about US and Japan possible trade deal. The second thing is simple. I would say good US data. So the market expectations toward big cut by Fed are around 0 right now. So simple rate differential here, pushing this pair higher. So in that case, of course, I would love to buy lower, towards 50% of that previous range discussed before, but from the intraday perspective, I'm going to watch 107 very closely. If that's the case, I'm trying to buy around 107. My first target, because we are talking about the intraday perspective here, my first target is going to be something around 107.65, 107.80, right? So very tight stop if I'm going to be able to buy. with very tight stop, looking for 60 to 75 pips. So my stop is not gonna be bigger than probably 15 pips. There is a possibility we are going to be able to update this because of our next meeting in relation to the UK job market. But if there is anything related to the dollar yen, meaning that we are close to the levels, so we will try to update. We'll try to update dollar yen during that meeting as well. Back to you, Michał.
Another thing what I want to talk about is this easing, we can say, of a trade war between US and China. We saw the latest information that they were holding the talks, and they are postponed the meeting in September on the beginning of October. The trade representatives on both countries. About the easing of this trade war. The China are willing to accept buying of some amount of the agricultural products for in exchange for the postponing of the tariffs on the China products from the latest one that Donald Trump imposed. Also we have this information from Huawei that and it's also the sign of for some time of easing the trade war, that they are
dropping the one claim,
dropping,
right?
yes. I forgot the word, dropping the lawsuit after the US government returned the gear from them, the mobile gear that they were, as China said, unlawfully seized from them. That this gear is owned by the U.S. government, and they were accusing China that they have no legal documents to send it back to China, and but they were after this trade war, after everything that happened, after the returning the gear, they didn't argument about why they did that, and didn't say what was the reason, and China is saying that okay, we're dropping this lawsuit, but we think that we are the truth, and the law is on our side. But I think it's just another sign of China weakness. And also I read about from the Nomura analyst from the Nomura was analyzing the situation of the tech companies in China, that many of the Asian companies, for example from Taiwan, are going back to home, they're retrieving from China to their homeland. And this analysis was made for about 57 tech companies. So the Chinese government is seeing what is going on with those tariffs, how it is, how it's.
Okay,
it's too much.
that's the one side of the picture. Yesterday I also mentioned because officially that's what media are trying to tell us, is this thing that it's going easier towards this trade war. It looks better.
Right.
But on the other hand, what I've mentioned yesterday in relation to the Apple and Foxconn, there was a Chinese official said that they're investigating if there was some kind of the breaking labor law by this company. So they're trying to find something useful for them to have in hand when talking to US. So to be honest with you, we were discussing many times. Right now and right here is not the time from US perspective to make the final deal with China. So I do expect, I've seen very funny picture somewhere on the Twitter that there was a calendar, right? And it was like on the monthly basis. So we have September, then October, and it was towards the next November US election, and it was the only one note within each of the month, like US China going back to the table, US China going back to the table, and then October next year is like the deal and November election, right? So that I'm pretty sure we are not going to get any kind of the deal within the next 6 months.
If I may add, there are also the voices from other economists that they dropped the estimation about the trade deal, and that's why also everybody on the U.S. officials and the media is trying to convince the market that no, it's going great, it's going great. You saw after those weekend which Trump imposed the new tariffs, everything turned around, that is going very good. It's going very good. The rhetoric is like that, but I think also it's in the midterm, it's also because of the Christmas, because of the high time where many of the companies makes the most of the revenue from the whole year. So I think anyone, the US and China, wants to make a bigger disruption in the high time, in the biggest shopping time of the year also.
Okay, so let's have a look what we have on the dollar Chinese yuan chart here. Strong breakdown, I would say. Last Friday we got back below 7.15, 7.14, trying to hold 7.10 right now, as you can see, but I think market is still expecting that more RRR cuts are coming from the PBOC, People Bank of China. So in that case, if that's the case, really, so the more upside and trying to fill this 722, 725 target still possible. What I'm going to look for, I'm not trading, right, dollar Chinese yuan. So what we can talk is just pure chart and what may happen here. But again, me personally, I'm not trading dollar Chinese yuan. But what might spur the rally back above 7.15 and the rally back towards 7.20, 22, 25 is, for example, in case of the attempt to break lower through 7.10 and with closing the day with move back above, right? So creating the lower shadow, that could be the case. And how can we create this lower shadow? For example, testing the 50% of the previous range. In that case, we are talking about something closer to 706, right? So trying to invite some sellers to the market and then trap them closing the day above. That could be the solution. But again, market is expecting more RRR cuts from the PBOC. In that case, we might see higher levels, and we haven't finished. I think we haven't finished the upside, so there is more to deal with, and 722, 725, it might be the case. We were discussing the US China situation, so it's good to try to check what is going on indices. In that case, we are talking about here. We are talking about the S&P, and S&P is testing the latest. 1 second. Let's change to the green. S&P is testing what was previously supposed to work as a demand, right now should work as a supply, and that's what we are testing the levels right now, closer to 2,990. Been rejected Monday, and right now, as you can see, there is a possibility of swing high creation. I'm going to watch very, very carefully during US cash market later today how we are going to behave, because if you notice, today's low sorry, today's high is a little bit lower than the Friday high. So there is a possibility in my mind. I'm trying to visualize the situation after US cash open, and because we don't have the afternoon meeting today, it's I think it's worth to mention right here right now. So we might see, switching lower to the intraday chart, right? We might see manipulation during the US cash open, right? The market will hunt the stops over the Asian high today, hitting Friday high, creating the swing high, and then of course it's all about the daily close. A very similar situation on the DJ and Nasdaq, but here we might be more interested with DAX cash open. In that case, DAX also is testing very important levels, and I'm going to monitor right after open the DAX behavior and looking for eventually selling opportunity. Same what we discussed yesterday, right? We didn't quite hit the 12,250 my selling level, so it might be today a little bit higher in case of doubling the yesterday range. So that was the yesterday range. In case of the doubling, it might be a little bit above 12,250. It might be towards 12,280, 12,300, and I'm going to watch the market behavior over there. Back to you, Michał.
Yeah, what I can add, I think that we could continue the conversation and add something in our next meeting. And we will talk about the UK, and
well, that's very interesting topic.
Yeah, and eventually add something to the chart. Maybe something will be tweeted.
Okay, agreed. So Michał, thank you very much for your inputs. We are about to have a next conversation within the less than 2 hours. So enjoy London Open and see you around. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good morning, Dixo. Thank you very much for your kind words. We know where we are from the euro-dollar perspective. We know where we are from the dollar-yen perspective. We spoke about indices as well. From the pound perspective, we are going to discuss cable and other pound crosses during our next meeting. Just a reminder, we are going to cover UK job market this morning, so don't hesitate, join us 10:15 a.m. CET, 9:15 a.m. London. It's going to be very interesting, especially that the volatility on the pound is higher. Right here, right now, towards the end of our meeting, pre-London Open live market coverage, let's have a look what we have on the gold and oil market. From the gold perspective, very interesting things as market is testing and trying to break below 1500, currently trading 1491. Now, of course, the thing is where we are going to be at the end of the day, but this breakdown here might be huge, but I wouldn't be in a rush trying to sell that stuff, right? I have to get back into what we discussed